It is being, it is being dealt with, and I hope that they will get out of it very soon.
How contagious is this hepatitis C?
Well, it's really strictly by what you eat and what you drink. So it depends on the vehicle. That's the water, the food, it's not about you touching or shaking hands with me.
Okay.
Even if I have hepatitis E and peradventure I shake hands with you, but you wash your hand with soap and water, that's the end of the story. So it doesn't go into your food and your drink. So that's why I said it's not just the water, even the disposal of waste, both human, animal and all that will come into play. Refuse, you see, they generate refuse. Even in that camp, they generate refuse. We in a safe environment can look at our daily structures. They've not come to pick our refuse once a week. In a camp, it goes more beyond that. So you see, it's a logistic nightmare, but it is doable with enough resources.
But you said here that some agencies are already responding.
Yes,
so let's look at the supposedly safe environment where we have people picking up our trash. How sanitarily conscious are we?
We're not. If you look at especially an urban place like Lagos, we really are not. You just walk down and look at your drain, you will see it. If you clean it now, it will not take people around another 10 minutes for it to be filled with waste. There's this mindset that because you are in the raining season, even worse now, funny enough, we're in the raining season, so when it rains and there's a very big flood, it will wash away the drain. So some people use that as a body. Those who live around a large body of water like lagoons, if you go to Oroshoki, if you go to Lagos Island, if you go, those along the lagoons, instead of them to use the proper waste disposal mechanism, they throw it into the lagoon, thinking that, of course, the water body will wash it away. But unfortunately, it never does. When it goes, then it comes back and stays at the bank. And this is the same water some of them now drink. Because they're so close to it, even if they dig a well, the water table there is high so it's already contaminated. So those are the challenges that we really must use appropriate means to dispose and manage our waste.
The use of water, for instance, when you talk about water, let's look at those who live on the hinterland.
Yes.
Washing of hands as against using of sanitizers. Some will say, please use water with soap to wash your hands and all of that. But a lot of us don't even look at it from that angle. I mean,
that's why it's very funny. In primary healthcare, they call that an appropriate technology. Why go to sanitizer when you can just use ordinary water and soap? We actually like the easier way out that is not sustainable. You already have soap in your house anyway, and you have water. So just 30 seconds of proper hand washing. When you leave the toilet, when you want to eat, when you clean up, after using the toilet. Very simple things, but just generally have taken care of personal hygiene. Various studies have shown that hand washing alone reduces general infection by over 30%. So the cost of what you now pay for illness, hepatitis E be just one of the many, will be less. You will go to hospital less. You will need to use drug less.
This current infection, does it have anything to do with, for instance, the immunity level of the people at this time?
No, the immunity level is way far off. Because if you don't have enough dose of let me put it like enough quantity of the virus, you are not going to be at risk. But the first thing, is a barrier.
How do you measure the quantity?
Exactly. So the barrier, the barrier is our habit. But in those challenging areas, we know it's not just their habit. They don't just have enough, but they have to live. But for those of us who live in areas where things are safe, it's actually our habits. Our habits.
Okay, someone's asking here, I don't know if you have an idea, but Mohit Sharon says, what would it cost to provide clean water to these people? And Festus is saying government should move to prevent the spread of Hep E by providing clean water, clean sanitation. But let's look at what Mohit, do you have an idea what it will cost to provide water there?
Wow, that's a lot. Okay, so over the last 8 years,
one camp, for instance.
That's what I'm saying. Over the last 8 years, 1.9 million people have been displaced. So let's try and use something that is close to home, assuming that environment is safe, and it costs 10 naira for a sachet of water, and one person needs 10
in a day.
That's 100 naira. What times 1.9? Every day, not just once and then you go. So you'll be talking about 100.9 million every day. I'm saying the environment is safe, and they go procure just a safe NAFDAC registered bag of pure water. But it's not that easy with that environment, because now nobody should spend money that way. If you have 100 million to provide water, smart sense will say maybe you should use 20 million and do something in the areas where you have safe camps, and then treat, because it will be cheaper on the long run. So that's the easier way.
Because of the security challenges and all.
No, cheaper in the long run if that in the safe camps.
Okay.
But for those who are dispersed, it becomes a bit more difficult, because you must be able to map where this population are. Because some camps are registered, some are not registered. So those are the issues.
Okay, so what are health workers telling the people right now? Just not to create panic, because if you hear outbreak,
Well, the good thing, the outbreak is confined to that region. Outbreak. I did not say hepatitis E infection is confined. Outbreak, meaning it is more than what they expect. So it's around the Nigeria, Niger, Chad, Cameroon. It's not just the Nigerian area, it's all the countries around. So that's one. So, but for the general population, please, your personal hygiene is key. And the moment you start having any symptom, diarrhea, vomiting and all that, it's so easy to do. If it's a child who is most at risk, start an ORS at home with salt sugar solution. Replace the fluid as the child can be able to tolerate. For adults, same thing. But the moment you do more than a day, or the stooling or the vomiting is more than what you think the child is able to hold down, just go straight to the nearest health facility, and then they will take it over from there. But every time, every day, the government has a responsibility too, because if the government is able to provide access to potable water, then people are less likely to drink contaminated ones. Now, for the general public, please, for the little body of water that we have, let's not contaminate it with our poor hygienic habits. If you go along the railway or streams in the hinterland, you just see people open up their bumble and start defecating right there in the open, broad daylight. So there's also a point as to providing mode of disposal of waste. If people don't have good housing, then they will not have good toilets. It's just so we need to be able to talk to every strata of the community, meet their need, and see that we're able to help the society as a whole. And
sanitary facilities at these camps should also be looked into.
Yes, they should be provided. If they are provided, there will be less chances of the water provided being contaminated.
And those in the safe areas, washing of your hands.
Washing of your hand, use approved waste disposal method, both for solid and human waste, like feces.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Ashiombi Oladakbo, public health expert. We do hope that we've heard. Wash your hands. How long do you have to keep your hands under water, and how often?
Oh, on the average, between 45 seconds to 1 minute, really, if you want to do a proper hand washing, because you have to wash all fingers in between the places we forget, here and here.
That's like here.
The edges, yes, you have to.
Like here, the back of the hand.
The back of the hand.
Between the fingers.
Yes, between
and the tips. And sometimes you forget to actually do the tips.
Yes. Because under our nails, it's a beautiful.
And then we should learn to trim our nails as well.
Yes. Because under our nails.
What would you tell the ladies that have to?
Now we have to go to another area of Beijing.
No, don't go there.
So let's go there. Let's stay in Nigeria.
Dr. Ashiombi Oladapo, public health expert, thank you for speaking with us. So as we'll be back in a moment, please don't go away.